Theo Vanhoff is the AmeriCorps VISTA serving on the Community Benefits Project at the MSU CCED. Community benefits may cover a range of agreements negotiated between developers and community coalitions. In this project, one goal was to increase the knowledge of benefits across the state on topics of planning, agreements, and ordinances. Additionally, the VISTA member, faculty, and student team researched how community benefits may be used to foster environments for more equitable economic development. To support this effort, Theo facilitated a community advisory board and helped develop and publish research briefing the history and implementation of community benefits. With the guidance of the advisory committee, he also coordinated a statewide event discussing the effectiveness of community benefits and best practices. In the future, the CCED hopes to build upon his work and establish a community benefits facilitator training program for the state of Michigan. Theo's favorite project he worked on was an event called Conversations on Community Benefits and Equitable Development. The Conversations on Community Benefits and Equitable Development brought together elected officials, union leaders, community and economic development professionals, Michigan State faculty, and government officials to discuss avenues for equitable economic development in Michigan. When asked for his future advice for the next VISTA, Theo said, "What makes my service worth it was being present in every moment of my service. I got to be in rooms I never imagined I would be in, met people I never would have, and had countless opportunities to build community. Being open to learning in these spaces was extremely important to my overall experience, and I encourage future VISTAs to take every opportunity presented and to pay attention to people in every room you are in because you never know what doors will open." When he is asked what he learned throughout his year, Theo said, "I learned patience in this role because of the kind of work takes time. Change does not happen overnight, and it was hard work on projects that I may not see the end of. I found that doing the work is always the best option. Just because something takes time doesn't mean it isn't worth doing."
All right, let's do this. Hi, I'm Theo, and I spent my year of service at Michigan State University's Center for Community and Economic Development as their Community Benefits VISTA. After graduating from Michigan State in the spring of 2024, I was thrilled to return to MSU to assist in their important work on co-creating sustainable prosperity and equitable economies with communities. MSU campus is one of my favorite places in the world and is an excellent place to unwind, go for a walk, and clear my mind. One of the unique aspects about my service placement is while we work through MSU, we are actually located at a satellite office in Lansing, Michigan, and just look at our beautiful street. Jokes aside, I have enjoyed my time with the CCED. It was slow going in the beginning, but pretty soon I began to work with my team to research, develop, and ultimately publish a short summary paper around community benefits planning, agreements, and ordinances. For those not in the know, community benefits can sound pretty broad, but they are actually legally binding private agreements between a developer and community representatives. The idea behind them stems from wanting to center community voices at the heart of the development process. If there's public money going towards a particular development, usually in the form of tax subsidies or abatements, then there should be directly negotiated public benefits. Community benefits ordinances can require that a community benefits agreement is signed. Meanwhile, community benefits plans are typically a stated intention to provide benefits to a community, though plans can often lead to formal agreements. We published that paper with the help of our advisory committee, which was made up of a wide variety of economic development professionals, community benefits experts, academics, union leaders, and even elected officials. Towards the end of the summer, I was lucky enough to go down to Dallas, Texas for the AmeriCorps training and got to meet so many wonderful fellow service members, as well as doing some very good karaoke in our off hours. Back in Michigan, we continued working with our advisory committee, and that led us into planning the first ever statewide event to discuss community benefits and equitable development practices. I took the lead on this project and worked to confirm panelists and moderators, as well as meeting with them prior to the event to have a conversation about what the event would look like. I was also the contact person for all registration information, and let me tell you, I received more emails and late night text messages asking about the event than I would have ever expected. That experience taught me a lot, though, about all that goes into planning an event. From waking up at 6 a.m. the day of to pick up coffee, to making sure the lunch order was all set, to making sure panelists all arrived on time. It was a process, but one that I think was extremely valuable in my development. Also, as much as I want to take credit for the event, I could not have done this without the excellent work of my team and the amazing help from our advisory committee, which I think goes to show how important it is to work together to co-create spaces where we can build our capacity around the pressing issues of the day. As I often say, nothing is accomplished alone, only together. The event, in the end, went extremely well, and we got a lot of positive feedback. The event wrapped with a session titled The Way Forward, where we got to hear from a state representative as well as state government officials on the future of community benefits and equitable development. One such example is a proposed training program that the MSU CCED would host that would aim to create a statewide cohort of community benefits facilitators who would go into communities and assist in the development and negotiation process. The idea being that we want to ensure community voices are centered, but we don't want developers to feel as if they are floating on their own. This is just one of the many ways forward on this issue that a Year 2 and 3 VISTA will get to explore. As I transition out of my service, I am amazed at how much I have learned in my year here, and I am so glad that I got the chance to serve as an AmeriCorps VISTA and find new ways of pushing myself. I'm very proud of my growth over the past year, and I can confidently say that my year of service was indeed a life-changing experience. That's all from me. So, thank you for watching, and as we say here at MSU, go green.
Reagan Winnie was the AmeriCorps VISTA working on the Circular Economy project. Circular economy is a framework for addressing the current disconnect between economic and environmental health and sustainability. Circular practices represent a systemic shift towards long-term environmental, social, and economic resilience at the local and global levels by working to keep materials in use longer, providing end-of-useful life solutions, and enhancing collaboration throughout the product's life cycle. Effectively, the system will minimize waste and keep materials and reduce the extraction of raw materials. Reagan's role involved building educational initiatives and coalitions to support circular economy transitions in Michigan. Ultimately, our goal is to establish a Circular Economy Institute at Michigan State University that will lead research, training, and professional development by partnering with industry and public sector stakeholders on material innovation, waste reduction, workforce development, and responsible recycling and reuse standards. Reagan's favorite project throughout the year was an event called Conversations on Circular Economy. In the fall, the Circular Economy team worked hard to create and organize a forum on circular economy. This event brought together 75 academics, small business owners, and material management directors and state representatives to discuss innovative developments in circularity. As an outcome of this event, our team was able to expand knowledge around the circular economy and build new relationships. Reagan's advice to a future VISTA is to remember to think of the bigger picture and the long-term impact of your service. When you are working on a project that is divided into a multi-year plan, it is likely that you will not see the full result of your contributions, especially if you are in year 1 of your project. You need to remember the importance of your role. When asked about what she learned, Reagan said, "I learned so much this past year that I will carry on with me throughout the rest of my career. I was able to build skills in stakeholder engagement, coalition building, qualitative and quantitative research, communication, and event planning. The scope of my work went far beyond what I would have gained in another early career position or internship." Hey guys, come along with me as we go through the day of an AmeriCorps VISTA serving at the MSU Center for Community and Economic Development. My role at the center is as a Circular Economy VISTA, where I work on initiatives to build capacity for circular economy. I work on a team of about 4 other researchers along with 2 managers. Here you can see me walking through the office, headed to my cubicle, where I share it with 2 other VISTAs here at the center. And as we go through the rest of the office, you'll see here is our list of publishings or our book stack of publishings, and I actually had the opportunity to help publish something on circular economy here. So as you can see, I'm flipping through that book now. And then right here, you can see outside our window to this beautiful construction. Our center is actually not located on Michigan State University's campus, but more located centrally in the community. And over here, we're going to pivot to our main office room where we host meetings 9 a.m. every Tuesday. And I'm also going to share with you where I film my podcast. I have the opportunity to lead podcasts here about once a month. All right, getting into it, I'm going to get my day started by coming up with a list of objectives to complete for the day. My tasks range daily, so I find it helpful to come up with a list of things that I need to complete each day. Additionally, I spend this time going through my emails to catch up on the work my team has completed. For today, I am going to be spending time going through some data and information we collected from a recent strategic planning event for circular economy. We divided our information into outreach, research, and curriculum, as you can see here, and then I spent the next couple hours synthesizing this information into an action plan. All right, next I go on lunch, and when I come back, I head to a new spot in the office to remain focused and get some more work done. I spent the next couple hours going through some research and survey data I collected from material management leaders in the state of Michigan. And after I finish completing this data or collecting this data, I'm going to spend time putting it into an infographic. All right, then my day is complete and I start packing up. Every day looks different, but today was a fairly relaxed one in the office. So thank you for coming along with me as I walked you through it. Hi guys, my name's Reagan Linney. Thank you for taking the time to come through a day in my life at the MSU CCED. Over the course of my project this year, it's been different every day. I feel like I'm constantly tackling new projects and having the opportunity to make my own projects at the center as well. Some of my proudest accomplishments over the past year has been hosting a circular economy forum with over 50 individuals attending, creating a new podcast series, and starting a new newsletter. I've been able to help build new partnerships with a lot of organizations throughout Lansing as well as the state of Michigan, and I feel like I've also contributed a lot to research. My largest research project thus far has been working with material management leaders and gaining input from them. And ultimately, the goal of collecting all this knowledge and support is to establish a Circular Economy Institute at Michigan State University. And I'm very proud to say recently our team had the opportunity to meet with the MSU president to pitch this to him. And while that's not a guaranteed in, it was a huge step forward to be able to even get this on the table and have him aware of it. So yeah, those were some of my favorite projects, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to me today. Courtney Long is the AmeriCorps VISTA serving on the Health Zones project at the MSU CCED. Health zones are identified as low-income census tracts with high concentrations of poverty, where many vulnerable seniors lack access to healthy foods, transportation, quality housing, healthcare, and more. Through service and in partnerships with cross-sector agencies, the member helped identify gaps and barriers associated with seniors' daily living needs. They also explore the science and lifestyle behind longevity. Over the course of her term, VISTA member Courtney Long helped build and convene community advisory boards, created an ecosystem map identifying available resources and services, oversaw a computational math, science, and engineering senior capstone team to help make the map interactive, conducted focus groups with vulnerable seniors, and developed a research paper documenting these findings. Courtney's favorite event during her year of service was the Fall 2024 Thinkers and Doers. This biannual event helps connect university resources with community and was convened towards the beginning of the project term as a discussion on health and well-being for vulnerable seniors with panelists from Sparrow Health, MSU College of Human Medicine, and the Ingham County Health Department Lansing Eastsiders to discuss the needs of community and barriers to resource access, specifically among elder populations. Courtney's advice for the future VISTA is, there will be times when you feel burnt out and that the work you are doing does not matter. However, you have to rely on your team and your advisors that will push you to continue. The service you are providing matters and will have a lasting impact on the community you're serving. You have to know that these projects would not happen without your efforts. In reflection, Courtney also shares her perspective, saying, "During my service term, I learned a lot and was able to take most of the lessons with me. I am incredibly grateful for the opportunity and will utilize the professionalism developed as a gateway into my career. During my year of service, I also reinforced my passion for public health and health management.
Come with me as a day in my life as a AmeriCorps VISTA member. I arrive at the office at the MSU Center for Community and Economic Development. I enter into the code to get into our building. Our building is currently off campus and it's in downtown Lansing. This is the office building. We have 3 cubicles with the last cubicle being all the AmeriCorps VISTA members. This is me entering my cubicle. There I am. Once I arrive at my desk, I go and I set up my laptop. I set down my stuff. Normally I have a cup of coffee with me as well. This is just me like setting up my backpack and everything. So once I'm at my desk, I normally will log into my laptop and then I will go and log into my desktops as well. Once I'm logged into everything, I normally would check my emails first. I will respond to anyone that has responded back to me during yesterday's office hours, and then I will go check my Google Calendar as well to see upcoming meetings I had that day or any upcoming meetings that I have for the week, just to prepare for. I normally will look through my SharePoint and just kind of look over the other assignments that I have or other assignments that I need to finish up as well. Right now, I'm responding back to my supervisor about an event that we are hosting at the end of May. I have been monitoring the Qualtrics for it, the registration forms for it. So I've just been monitoring who will be attending, how they will be attending, and all of that. The event that we have going on at the end of May is about childcare development. So I'm very excited to hear about what the community partners have been doing and just what the discussion is going to be. We had some VISTA interviews today, so this is our big conference room where we host staff meetings and other meetings that we have. And I get back to my desk, continue working on my assignments. So we recently hosted a focus group interview with seniors, and these were the answers that they provided for us. I will be transcribing this later in a report as well. So this is another assignment I've been working on, and it is a research publication of a summary of everything I did over the year. This is another project I've been working on. It's an ecosystem mapping of 9 opportunity zones that we are currently looking at. I have labeled the resources and the services that is provided in these areas. Another project was working with the MSU Data Science Capstone team. They have created us another ecosystem mapping that provided us demographic data, transportation. This is me looking through my Google Calendar. These are all the meetings I have for the week. And then I end the day at 5 o'clock and pack up all my stuff and head home for the day. So my research project main goal was to aid seniors to be able to age in place and extend their longevity. We wanted to facilitate discussions with community partners and stakeholders, as well with citizens themselves, vulnerable seniors citizens themselves, to discuss health and well-being, specifically social well-being and quality of life. As a community, we identify 7 health indicators that we believe that affects a senior. So these 7 health indicators were transportation, housing, healthcare, nutrition, mental health services, access to parks and rec centers, and connectivity, social connection. We believe that these 7 health indicators affect a senior and how they are able to age in place or their longevity. The next steps in our project is to continue with these focus group questions, to continually talk with seniors themselves and gain knowledge based on their experiences. And then we will continually maintaining our connections with our community partners to identify what they're doing in their programs currently and how we can identify any more gaps and barriers and how can we alleviate these gaps and barriers as well. Thank you.